to Wednesday's show. Morning, studio.
Morning.
Let's go around the room. I'm starting to think Lunchbox is wearing off on him because now he wears sweatpants to work like he's going to the gym. Here he is, Eddie, everybody.
That's funny. Hey, guys, I've never, ever liked jelly beans. My entire life. People are like, oh, you want a jelly bean? No.
Not even the red ones or yellow ones?
None of them.
Because I hate the black ones.
The licorice ones?
Yeah. Bleh.
Oh, yeah.
But
no.
I can do red and green and yellow.
No, they were all gross to me. I mean, I would look at them and be like, ooh, they're colorful. Maybe that tastes really sweet. I would chew on it and I'm like, ugh, that has no taste to it. But I had one over the Easter holiday and I was like, I gave it a second chance. I like jelly beans. I ate like 10 of them. I'm like, these are really, really good. Maybe I'm maturing. My palate is getting more mature, but all of a sudden, I like jelly beans.
Wow.
Is that more mature?
I think that's an old age thing.
Is it?
Well, and then also, you haven't had Starburst jelly beans ever? Because that was my gateway.
I think this was a Starburst jelly bean.
Yeah, it's my gateway.
So is that different than all the other jelly beans?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
They're way better.
But I appreciate a good jelly bean talk like nobody else. But
The Bobby Bones Show talks about something boring.
yeah, you got that.
I got that
Thank
one.
you.
You got that one. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. This next guy shows us what buying stocks and acting have in common. He's not good at either one. Here he is, Lunchbox, everybody.
I'm back, guys. I was on the road the other night, driving, and the truck in front of me is all over the road, swerving, and not even swerving,
I'm
more
back.
like drifting. And I had to call 911.
Oh, he's back
I
calling
picked up the
911.
phone, and I said, 911. Bleep,
Come on.
bleep. And first of all, I got put on hold when I called 911.
Immediately or after you said what it was?
No, immediately. It's like, please hold on, and we will answer your call when the next person is available.
He's
Don't
on a
hang up.
list.
It'll
He's on a list.
on
Oh,
a
it
watch
shows
list.
up. Yeah.
It's this guy again.
They're like, it's probably
The
nothing.
trainee gets you.
They said it'll just take longer for your emergency to be answered if you hang up. And I'm like, I was on hold for like a minute and a half, I felt like.
Wow.
And then they would play me tones for the hearing impaired. I mean, I was like, all right, guys. So then I get on the call with the lady, and she's like, 911, what's your emergency? I was like, ma'am, I'm driving, and there is a drunk driver all over the road. I mean, swerving lane to lane, exit coming up, not going to take the exit. Last second, take the exit. And then we're going up the exit, and it's like a roundabout, you know, the loop-de-loo ones, where you go up and around, and he's going to go, and he just keeps going straight, 2 tires into the grass, and then he swerves back onto the road.
Damn.
And I am going play-by-play for 911, and she's like, okay, cool, I'll let our officers know. Thanks for calling. Like, she was like annoyed with me, never sent a cop. No one ever pulled him over.
You followed him how long?
He was driving the same direction I was driving. I followed him for probably about 7 minutes.
How many
That's a
of you-
significant amount of time to follow.
Are you sure he's going?
Because you always follow. I know you
Yeah.
just said he's driving the same direction.
The lady even asked me, she goes, sir, are you following him? I said, no, this is the way I go home.
Were you lying?
I may have taken an exit
Exactly,
early
yeah.
to keep following, and I may have gone like a different direction once we exited to follow. But yes, I did follow for 7 minutes. I mean, just swerving all over. I mean, right off
Did
the...
you tell him exactly where you were?
Exactly where I was.
They never came?
Never came.
Why don't you
No,
do
no,
some
no.
citizens
No,
arrest?
no, no.
Yeah,
'cause
you should.
No, no,
You want to
no.
be a hero and make the
No,
news?
no, no. This is when it's 9:45 at night and people get crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that. Not doing the old pull someone over.
Well, you want to make the news, citizens arrest, vigilante justice.
Ooh, I mean, like the person would stop at a red light, and then when the red light would turn green, he would immediately go and start swerving into the other lane.
Yeah, that is scary.
That's really
I mean, the
is
2
scary.
tires going on the grass.
But the fact that you set this all up about it being about you. I'm back. Wasn't about a drunk driver.
No. It was a drunk driver. But so then I'm like, do they really want you to call when there's a drunk
I
driver?
think you should. I think you
Yes.
made the right call there.
But she seemed to know. She was like, okay, I'll
I'm
let
sure
her.
they sent someone out. But yeah, you're right. There could have been a lot of time in the middle of them getting to where he was. If they
I don't
ever
know,
did.
man. You see cops all the time on the road, and then this, it's just like there's no one to be seen.
All right, I'm very sorry that. I'm sorry he was drunk driving, but I think what you want to hear is I'm very sorry that your 911 call wasn't appreciated like you hoped it was.
Both. I wish they would have got him.
Got it.
And I wish I'd have been appreciated.
He's
and
back.
and my kids were asking me about, why are you calling the cops? Like, oh, he might be sick. He
You were
might-
following him with your kids in the car?
Yeah.
You were following a drunk driver with your kids in the car?
No, but I was way back, 200 yards back.
All right, moving on. Her water bill is still really high, and sometimes she likes to let out a good scream and have a good cry. Here she is. Amy, everybody. La, 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 la.
So, not too long ago, I talked about how I needed to go maybe see a hip specialist for my tailbone. But now I know I'm normal. Everything's fine. I saw a chiropractor, and coincidentally, I didn't see him for the tailbone, seeing him for some other things. But then I brought up my tailbone, and he felt it, and told me that I was normal.
But you have a tail.
Yeah.
How's that normal?
But you missed what he said at the end. He said, "You're normal for an otter."
An otter.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have tails.
Well, so he said nothing except you're normal. He
He
didn't.
said,
give you-
"I have seen this plenty." There's
Oh,
I said, well, some people said it could be a cyst and I don't want to have surgery. And he felt it. He goes, oh, no, this is definitely bone. This is bone. It's not a cyst. So we're good there. I don't.
so you have a tail. He just don't want to make you feel bad. It's
No.
not a cyst. It's a bone tail.
Oh my gosh, do I need to get him on the phone? He was very clear that I was normal.
It's. Who felt it?
I did.
Is it normal?
I've never felt anything like
Okay,
that
then it's not
before.
normal. Okay. He was nice to you.
Nice,
That's good.
Morgan.
I'm sure you.
But what is normal? I mean,
Exactly.
Oh, is normal normal?
yeah, maybe.
Are we normal?
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. All right, Ray, go ahead.
From Mountain Pine, Arkansas, he loved the movie Air, and he went to the theater, which is rare.
Thank you.
Bobby Bones.
Thank you very much. And I was going to mention this too, that one of the previews in Air was for a movie called Big George Foreman, which is about George Foreman's life. He was a boxer. He was a good boxer when he was young. He went to be a preacher for a long time, then came back in his 40s, like
With
late
grills?
40s.
And he has the grill too.
The grill's way later, but that's the
Oh.
same guy.
Yeah.
That's what my wife said. The guy with the grill.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but then he became world champion in like late 40s, 50.
Uh-huh.
Like, so Big George Foreman is a movie. I was going to talk about that. It's just coincidence Ray had that as the setup there. And then I was going to talk about this movie because Eddie brought up Bob Dylan in this segment maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. What's
There was a
up?
really poor Bob Dylan song on because I like some of Bob Dylan. And I was like, oh, this is garbage. And Eddie loves Bob Dylan. But I did see that Timothy Chalamet is going to do a Bob Dylan biopic.
Come on.
Where he kind of looks like him anyway. Much better looking. That Timothy Chalamet is a pretty good looking kid. But he's going to sing his own songs. And it's going to be Bob Dylan in the American music scene. And I think it's Bob Dylan, somebody that, unless you're into him now, you really don't understand what he meant to songwriting and culture back then.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the most underappreciated culture creators in the 20th century.
Absolutely. He was a poet, protester. Yeah.
He was all of that. But Timothy Chalamet is going to play him, and he looks just like him.
This worries me a little bit though, because
Why?
when they do biopics, like that's pretty close to the end.
Have they done any where people are alive? I think George Foreman's still alive. Rocket Man,
Okay.
Elton John.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
pretty healthy.
'Cause
Bob
I just think
Dylan's-
of like Johnny Cash and Ray, like they were already dead. La Bamba, he'd been dead.
he'd been
Well,
dead.
but
Yeah.
that was,
That was what?
that happened quickly in
Yeah.
his career.
Yeah. Plane crash.
I know.
And young.
Terrible.
Yeah, Bob Dylan's 81 years old.
Oh man.
But Timothy Chalamet will play him. Big George Foreman's coming out. And yes, Air, I give it 5 out of 5 Jordan 1s. Go see it. But I don't want to say go see it in theater. I had a miserable experience. Thank you. Let's get started with today's show. Appreciate you guys for being here.
It's a